So some members of the Saudi hit team that killed Jamal Khashoggi received training in the U.S. According to the reporting of David Ignatius of the Washington Post, and I'll add that his interviews included dozens of U.S. and Saudi sources, and they all requested to remain anonymous. The operations training that the Saudi hit team received in the U.S. might have been conducted by Tier 1 Group, an Arkansas-based company. And the training was part of a wider intelligence and defense partnership between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia and was conducted under a State Department license. All right, we've talked about Jamal Khashoggi a lot, right?
Yes, we have.
Oof. And what I found really interesting, and no, I'm not surprised. I don't think this is juicy as in like this is surprising news that this Saudi hit squad was trained in the United States, because that happens all the time. We cooperate with the with Saudi Arabian intelligence all the time in training their training their police,
their troops and shit.
Their troops. Yeah. Mohammed bin Nayef, the former crown prince, the king of counterterrorism in Saudi Arabia. I mean, he was trained by the FBI. He was trained by Scotland Yard. So a lot of this happens. We train. I mean, this has been going on for many, many years. What I find interesting about this is that it opens up the conversation for where these guys are being trained. And I'm going to share my computer screen because I'm very interested in this Tier 1 group. So this is Tier 1 group. Training you for tomorrow's threats. Get our capabilities brief. Let's go down. T1G is dedicated to providing the highest level of training across the operational spectrum. We combine the synergy of real-world experience, institutional knowledge, and purpose-built facilities to exceed the demands of our clients. T1G continuously anticipates the next evolution of conflict and adapts our core competencies to meet this ever-changing operational landscape. This website is so badass.
I want to hear the famous like movie announcer guy say it in that voice. Training for tomorrow's benefits. Like everything about this page is just like
badass.
It screams toxic masculinity.
Oh man, but it's don't scare away our audience, guys.
If you're listening, I didn't mean you.
Don't scare away our audience with that libtard language. All right. The T1G difference: 100% readiness and less with measurable cost savings. T1G is uniquely qualified to assist and support Tier 1 and Tier 2 SOP-specific requirements, as well as conventional special purpose forces, law enforcement, and OGAs. I don't know. I can go on reading this website, but I just think it's so, like, I just love the color scheme.
Yeah.
And just from everything,
the logo,
from the badass videos in the background, this website is just fucking killer. And for those of you who are listening, we're actually video casting this as well, and we have it up. It's just fucking cool as shit. I'll just say that.
Okay, so Tier 1 Group, formerly known as Aggressive Training Solutions, located in Crawfordsville, Arkansas, founded by retired Marine Steve Reichert. So yeah, Aggressive Training Solutions. This is awesome.
This is so funny. All right, just look at the background of this. Like, look at the channel art for this YouTube channel.
Jesus.
Like, there's
haha, I got you, terrorist.
I got you. All right. So there's a guy dressed up in like a terrorist uniform. So he's just all geared out in Islamic attire.
And he's got his
Arabian
AK-47, his Kalashnikov.
With his Kalashnikov, with a headdress, sunglasses, and it's a firefight. They're about to engage in a firefight, and some what's
up with that dude in the background? Yeah, like what is he doing?
He's like carrying flour. I don't know. He's like carrying groceries or something. I don't know what he's doing.
That's crazy.
I don't think he's supposed to be there.
No,
Or maybe he's a
he's
coach.
probably very shocked.
He walked into the shot, but it's a firefight, and like this doesn't even look like this looks like a stage.
Yeah, it looks like a set. Yeah,
It looks like a set. It doesn't look. It looks like the most Middle Eastern. It looks like a.
it looks like a map on like the first Call of Duty. You know, like Modern Warfare. You know, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, like one of the maps on there.
But dude,
This is what this looks like.
Do Arab cities look like this that much? Like, most of them are urban, right? Like,
I have no idea.
This looks like it's straight out of Baghdad from the 12th century.
This looks like it could be on Tatooine, like in Star Wars. Like,
dude, that's what exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed the same set there. But yeah, it looks like Tatooine of Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to their promo video. Dude, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is fucking awesome.
I want to go. It looks like fun.
Oh my god.
Little bomb robot.
Dude, this promo video is giving me, and it wants me to ditch all my lame non-interventionist crap. Like, this is how cool this video is. It's such a sick video. Like,
it feels so like Team America World Police. Like, it's like, oh,
America!
Fuck yeah. This is awesome. Yeah, I would love to spend a weekend doing this shit. Like, you know, what do I got to do to sign up? Like, how much does this shit cost? Can I join?
It is unbelievable. It looks super cool. Shit. All right. Well, I just find it super interesting that I guess this is what is used to train the Saudi police and intelligence. And I guess I'm a little. I guess I'm just. I need to throw my ignorance out there on this. I just didn't. Never looked into one of these like security groups. Apparently, though, they didn't do a good enough job because they did not train that Saudi hit squad properly and getting away with what they did.
No.
You want to know the truth about, like, here's what I think would happen with Khashoggi. So, Khashoggi, I don't think they were trying to kill him at the consulate in Turkey. What I think happened is that they were trying to abduct him and bring him back to Saudi Arabia so they could interrogate him over a longer period of time. I think that was botched. I think they killed him by accident. Mm-hmm. And you can even, the evidence is that they bagged him. They put a bag on his head. And the last words that were recorded said, "I can't breathe," or I'm suffocating. I'm paraphrasing it, but you know.
So do you think he died?
And he said he had asthma. So apparently, I think they killed him by bagging him up due to his respiratory problems, his health issues. And when they killed him, they were like, it was like
panicked.
Yeah, they panicked. It was like a Pulp Fiction. I just shot Marvin in the face type kind of situation, you know, like.
Yeah.
I think they accidentally killed him, and I don't know if they panicked. They were just like, "Fuck, we got to get rid of the body now," and that's why he's dead. Maybe if they didn't botch that, they would get him back. They would have got him back to Saudi Arabia. But you have to ask the question: what do you think they would have done to him once they got him back to Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. He would have been as good as dead if they were to successfully abduct him and bring him to Saudi Arabia.
Well, what I think could have happened is that they could have put him under some type of house arrest or some type of prison sentence, or put him in a hotel and just over many.
You're gonna put him up in the Ritz-Carlton with the rest of those guys that they did.
They could have done something. They could have done that. They could have put him up in the Ritz-Carlton. But I think most likely, because of his deep ties with the CIA, because of his deep ties with Al Qaeda, some of his deep,
and frankly, his
ties.
deep ties with the United States. Like he was he's obviously not a citizen, but he was a permanent resident here, and he has United States citizen children. Do you think like they would just sit around and be like, yeah, cool, you can abduct my dad and hold him hostage in your country against his will? Like that'll fly over just fine. No, absolutely not.
Not just that, but he had deep ties to the CIA. He was a Washington Post journalist,
right?
The CIA newspaper. You know what I mean? Like the most Washington establishment publication in the world is the Washington Post. Living in Virginia, like, dude, of course, he had deep ties with the CIA, deep ties with Al Qaeda. He was a journalist that covered Bin Laden. His uncle was one of the biggest arms dealers in Saudi Arabia. He had a very, very close relationship with. He was the advisor for Prince Turkmen. He wasn't just some dissident journalist. Like he wasn't like, I hate the fact that the story gets spinned is that he was just some type of voice for reason in progress, and he was a critic of Mohammed bin Salman,
which he was. In the end, he was.
Which he was a critic, but he was a critic of MBS because of how he went about taking power. He wasn't necessarily a critic on like the structure of Saudi Arabia, like the political system, the monarch, like the overall monarchy of Saudi Arabia. He was a Saudi nationalist, and he was also a very hawkish in Iran. Like, you know, he represented a lot of the policies that Saudi Arabia would like. So he wasn't just some dissident journalist who was like the lone wolf type of guy who was going out and trying to expose Saudi Arabia as some terrible, horrible place. I mean, that information is already pretty much out there, but it had more, like, the way this went down, the way that he was kidnapped, the way that he was abducted, and it speaks to something a lot deeper. So you have to ask the question, what do you think that is? Like, do you think it's because he knew something? Do you think he was just a CIA spook, a double agent? Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know what he was. You can only. I don't think we'll ever know. Really. Yeah. You can only really speculate, really, by looking at.
We won't know until HBO makes a movie out of it.
Yeah, but if HBO makes a movie out of it, it's not going to be right.